This is the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. First, the headlines. Joshua Rogers regains freedom. APC clears aspirant for Ondo Guba Primary. JAM won candidates against fake website. Nigeria crude oil output dips to 4.8 million barrels per day. Iraqi Prime Minister heads to U.S. for Biden meeting. Mr. Ibo's family releases burial dates. Nadal to make ATP return next week. A very good evening to you and thank you for joining us on the news. And now the details. A journalist in Rivers State, Joshua Rogers, who was abducted, has regained his freedom. Rogers was kidnapped on Thursday night at about 9 p.m. after he was reportedly trailed to his residence. His attackers reportedly accosted him at gunpoint, whisking him away in his car. The hoodlums contacted his wife, demanding 30 million naira as ransom. Few hours after the incident, the kidnap of Rogers took over to the media space, with different groups calling for his unconditional release. It is not clear if any ransom was paid for his release. Rivers State Police Command is yet to make an official statement on the incident. Akwa Ibom State Governor Umo Eno has instructed that the body of makeup artist Abigail Frederick, who died in a boat accident with other crew members, be returned to the state for a proper burial. This directive was communicated by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Ekerete Udo, via his X account on Saturday. Eno expressed deep sorrow over Frederick's death, describing her as a shining example of the state youth who answered a call to excel. Frederick's body was discovered on Thursday, April 11, and reportedly buried at the riverbank. Edo State Police Command has arrested a police constable, Prince Chima, attached to the Department of Operatives for allegedly threatening some persons in their residence with an AK-47 rifle. Commissioner of Police and the State Fonsho Adeboye discloses to newsmen in Benin City. Adeboye, in a statement signed on his behalf and made available to newsmen by the Public Relations Officer of the command, Chidi Nwabuzo, said an orderly room trial has been ordered by the Commissioner. The Commissioner explained that the arrest of the police constable was sequel to a viral video cited on X handle on April 7, 2024, where a young man that wore a blue t-shirt, black joggers trousers and blue palm slippers, who was seen alone threatening with violence some persons in their residence with an AK-47 rifle. He, however, commended the people that the police constable took a fight to their house for their patience and tactfulness in handling the situation. Abia State Governor Dr. Alex Oti says his administration has in the last 10 months worked towards growing businesses and attracting new ones into the state. Oti described Abia as an investment-friendly state, saying that it is in his desire to see businesses operating in the state grow. The governor stated this when he met with the managing director and management team of the Ina Galaxy Company Limited, a Chinese conglomerate operating in the Okwa axis of Abia State, who visited him. He charged the company of fair labor practices as a way of attracting the government's continued support while allaying the affairs of clamping down on them following allegations of not providing a conducive working environment for their workers. The governor encouraged the company to collaborate with the management of the Abia Industrial Innovation Park so as to take advantage of the opportunities provided in the area. Owerri Imo State Commandant of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Matthew Ovi, on Saturday said the command arrested 12 suspects and confiscated 6 tippers, 1 truck involved in illegal mining operations in Imo. Ovi disclosed this to newsmen while parading the suspect alongside the trucks at the command state headquarters in Owerri. According to him, the breakthrough was made following the intelligence gathering of the gallant men of Anti-Vandals, Mines and Steels and Intelligence Department or Special Intelligence Corps of the Commandant General from the national headquarters in Abuja. Some of the suspects, one Emeka Chimeze and one Anayobu, blamed poverty, lack of money, as well as the difficult economic situation in the country on their involvement in the alleged illegal mining. Fear has gripped Anambra residents again as gunmen return to the state, killing 4 persons in 2 days, including former President General of Amansie Community Chief Kajetan Nwokike. The 3 other unidentified victims were killed in Oka State Capital, including an unnamed park manager. It will be recalled that the President General of Umoji, Idemili South Local Government Area, Chief Silas Onyema, was killed about 2 months ago. Nwokike's killing was revealed by Omife Omife, the national president of the Association of Past President Generals of Anambra State, in a statement. According to him, the victim was fatally shot by the assailant while performing his customary morning prayers, breaking the kola nut in his residence in Amansea. Though the State Police Public Relations Officer in the state, Ikenga Tochukwu's phone, was not available at the time of filing this report for confirmation. Operatives of Nigeria Police Force have raided the hideout of IPOB, ESN, and the Akuke community of Enugu South Local Government Area, killing 2 members of the gang. Force Public Relations Officer ASP Olumuyiwa Adejubihu disclosed this while parading various suspects involved in crimes across the country. Said the operatives were met with high resistance by these unscrupulous elements, but we are subdued due to their superior firepower of the operatives. The police said the investigation revealed that the breached number of the AK-47 had been wiped off, but still the magazine bore the Nigerian police color, which might have been carted away during attacks on police formations. Exhibit recovered are 2 AK-47 rifles, 4 magazines, 68 rounds of live ammunition, 1 constructed leg chain, amongst others. Police investigation revealed that the arms were the ones used to carry out the robbery that claimed the lives of 3 innocent persons in Binigudu town, while the suspect confessed to the alleged crimes. Police in Lagos State have recorded a breakthrough by arresting 8 members of a vicious gang of criminals that specialize in subjecting their victims to several hours of anal sex after dispossessing them of their properties and cash. The arrest said to be one of the biggest successes of detectives recently, under the watchful eyes of Commissioner of Police Adegoke Fayode Sofa, was made in the highbrow areas of Lekki, Aja and Ikoyi areas of the state. And efforts are in top gear to round up fleeing members of the dreaded gang made up of young men between the ages of 23 and 40. Giving details of the operational strategies of the gang, police sources said the young men usually perpetrate their evil acts by renting living apartments in the highbrow areas of the city, after which they embark on search for their victims. Based on this development, the Commissioner of Police, Adegoke Fayode, gave marching orders to his special squad to round up the criminals without delay. The special squad, it was learned, succeeded in perpetrating the gang and in penetrating the gang and rounding up 7 of their members, including their oldest member, said to be a lawyer. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has received the leadership of the National Emergency Management Agency, led by its newly appointed Director General Zubaida Umar. NEMA national leadership team was in Lagos to sympathize with the state government on the fire disaster that razed no fewer than 14 multi-story buildings and destroyed assets worth millions in Dosemo Market on Lagos Island last Tuesday. The visit came just as the Lagos State Emergency Response Team was winding up its recovery effort at the fire scene. Sanwo-Olu, who received the NEMA team at the State House in Marina, conveyed his appreciation to the agency boss for prompt deployment of first responders from NEMA to join the state's emergency response team in combating the infernal minutes after the alert was sent out. The governor, who noted that 120 tanks of water were used up before the inferno was brought under control, commended the first responders from both the state and federal levels for their round-the-clock action to salvage the situation and stop the spread of the fire. Ahead of the primaries of the All Progressive Congress on April 20, a governorship aspirant on the platform of the party, Jimmy Odimayo, has appealed to the leadership of the party to resist the temptation of fielding a candidate with a one-term limit. Odimayo expressed concerns that all the opposition parties might capitalize on the lapse during the November 16 election. The current House of Reps member representing Okitupupa Irele Federal Constituency urged Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa to reconsider his ambition in the interest of both the Southern Senatorial District and the ruling party. Odimayo stressed that the Constitution forbids Aiyedatiwa from being sworn in for a third term in office. All Progressive Congress has cleared all 16 aspirants for the Ondo governorship primary on April 20. The 7-man Senator Joshua Lidani-led screening committee gave all the aspirants the nod to contest the primary. The exercise took place on Friday after inauguration of the screening committee and the screening appeal committees by the Deputy National Organizing Secretary, Nzechi Dijuru, on behalf of the National Chairman, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, at the National Secretariat Abuja. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa led the pack of aspirants that appeared before the committee in the exercise that started around 11 a.m. and rounded off with the appearance of Omo Oba Okunjimi Odimayo. The clearance of all the aspirants was contained in a report submitted to the party by the chairman of the committee on Saturday to the Directorate of Organization of the party. Niger Delta Development Commission has confirmed that it has completed and connected the 132/33 kV electricity substation it built at Ode Erinje in Okitipupa local government area of Ondo State to the national grid. NDDC's Executive Director of Projects, Victor Antai, while speaking during an inspection of the project, described the power station as a legacy project that would boost economic activities in Ondo State and improve the living standards of the benefiting communities. Antai stressed that the NDDC was committed to providing electricity to oil-producing communities in Ondo South Senatorial District that had been without electricity for the past 15 years. He added that the substation will be inaugurated in April. Antai also noted that the power substation will provide electricity to over 2,000 communities across 5 local government areas within the oil-producing region of Ondo State, significantly impacting lives by ending decades of darkness. Osun Amoteku Court says it arrested a 25-year-old man who works as a private security guard for allegedly stealing 9 air conditioners in Oshobo. According to a statement by the Corps Commander, Brigadier General Bashir Adewumbi, retired, the suspect Michael Azer from Ebonyi State was arrested after allegedly selling the stolen air conditioners to scrap buyers in Oshobo, Osun State capital. Moteku commander said 2 of their air conditioners he sold were, however, recovered from their buyers. He said the suspect had been handed over to the Director of State Security Services for subsequent interrogation and prosecution. He urged members of the public to work with security agents to rid the state of crime and criminal elements by providing information that will help nip crime in the bud. Inspector General of Police Kayode Etoku will, from Tuesday, embark on a 3-day working visit to Ogun State. During the visit, the IG will unveil the newly built Ogun State Police Command Headquarters, the Technical Intelligence Unit, as well as the Complaints Commission Unit, all within the premises of the State Police Command at Ele-Warren, Abeokuta. Tokun will also pay a courtesy call on Governor Dakpo Abiodun, the 4 paramount rulers of Eba, Ijebu, Remo, and Yewa lands, while also meeting the police operatives in the state and other stakeholders. Spokesperson for the State Police Commander SP Omolola Odutola disclosed this in a statement made available to journalists on Saturday. Federal Road Safety Commission has disclosed that 2 persons lost their lives while 13 others sustained varying degrees of injuries in a road crash that occurred along the Ijebu-Ode-Ore Expressway. Spokesperson of the Ogun State sector of FRSC, Florence Okwe, disclosed this in a statement made available to newsmen in Abeokuta, the state capital. According to Okwe, the fatal crash occurred on Shagamu-Ijebu-Ode section of the expressway after J3 junction. She said 2 vehicles, a Toyota Hiace bus and a truck, were involved in the accident. Obe added that the suspected cause of the crash was excessive speed, and the bus driver rammed into a stationary truck from the rear, which was parked on the hard shoulder of the road. Ogun State Sector Commander Anthony Uga cautioned motorists on the wrong parking of vehicles on the highway, and that if there is any breakdown, there should be caution signs displayed to alert other road users. He further advised motorists to shun speed and drive defensively. Program Director and Chief Executive of the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiatives, Michael Oluwabemi, has announced the federal government's plan to target over 25,000 jobs and $2.5 billion worth investment by 2027. Oluwabemi made this known during the Presidential NNG Stakeholders Engagement Workshop held at Bovas Auto Gas Filling Stations at Djibouti bus stop in Ibadan, or your state capital. He said the initiative, which was part of palliative measures to ease the burden of the removal of fuel subsidy, will attract enormous investment and job creation that will impact the lives of Nigerians positively. Meanwhile, he called on Nigerians to embrace the new initiatives by the federal government as part of palliatives to cushion the effect of the removal of fuel subsidy in the country. Last year, President Bola Tinubu approved the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative. Security operatives have arrested 2 suspected Yoruba Nation agitators for alleged role in the invasion of Oyo Government Secretariat on Saturday. The duo, an old man with grey hair and a middle-aged man whose name cannot be confirmed, was arrested by the police with flags and some paraphernalia of Yoruba Nation. Armed with amulets and some charms, they were singing Solidarity song Yoruba Nation shortly before the arrest. The security operatives did not allow reporters to interview them, but the aged man was heard claiming he is a father of the nation. They have been taken by the operatives to the police command for further interrogation. Leader of Yoruba Self-Determination Group, Professor Banji Akintoye, and the Nation and Yoruba Nation activist Chief Sunday Adeyemo, also known as Sunday Igboho, have distanced themselves from a group of agitators that invaded the Oyo State Government Secretariat, Agodi Ibadan, on Saturday. The duo said they were not aware or in support of the agitators and their actions. Akintoye said those involved were not fighting for Yoruba interests, but against the Yorubas and their conducts. He said available information indicated the group appointed an interim government for the Yoruba Nation and decided to take over the region from the Oyo State Secretariat, which informed the deployment of many military camouflage. Sunday Igboho said he will never be involved in such madness, noting that anytime he wants to engage in any struggle, he will always make it public and carry other stakeholders along. Suspected herdsmen have abducted the wife and house help of former chief of staff to Benue Governor Tewase Obundi. Obundi was the chief of staff of former Governor Samuel Otom. He later resigned to contest a PDP governorship primary. He later joined the All Progressive Congress but still lost out of the race. The attack was said to have taken place close to the Genocide Cemetery along Mobile Barracks Welfare Quarters Road in Markudi, the state capital, around 6 p.m. on Friday. The former chief of staff escaped with a gunshot on his right arm, while the attackers whisked away Abigail Kashimana Obunde and her house Patience Ogute. Meanwhile, the state police is yet to react to the incident at press time. Kidnappers of the wife of former chief of staff to former Governor Samuel Otom, however, Tewase Obunde, have demanded a ransom of 100 million naira from the family to release her. Obunde, who is being treated for gunshot injuries in a hospital in Markudi, said the abductors spoke to him at about 8:30 a.m. today, themselves and through the captives. The former chief of staff said his wife and cook were very calm when they spoke with him. He revealed that during the attack which took place at about 6 p.m. yesterday, the gunmen spoke Fulani among themselves and communicated with him in Hausa, saying they would contact him on the phone. The former chief of staff said they told him that he should be prepared to send money to them and that if he failed to do that, they would kill his wife and the cook. Minister of Federal Capital Territory Nyesom Wike has assured the commissioning of the Vice President resident by President Bola Tinubu on May 29 is certain. Wike said this when he visited the ongoing construction of the Vice President residence being executed by Julius Berger in Abuja. The construction of a new residence for the Vice President was approved in 2010 by the Federal Executive Council at a cost of 7 billion naira. But the project was abandoned by the previous administration. The current administration commenced the renovation of the building project with a contract review of 15 billion naira. The minister said he was optimistic and satisfied with the level of work done. Other than that, the FCT was wearing a new look in terms of infrastructure development in line with Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. Police operatives in Adamawa State have arrested 15 young men belonging to a group called Shaila Boys, who specialize in snatching phones and other belongings from residents. Said police command, which announced the latest arrest via a statement signed by Public Relations Officer Suleiman Ngoruje, said 9 mobile phones, a POS machine, dangerous weapons and hard drugs were recovered. The statement mentioned the names of the suspect as Abdullahi Shuaibu, Awal Saleh, Usman Abdullahi, Awal Isa, Usman Amadu, Muhammad Abubakar, and Jamilu Hassan. The police said the suspects were arrested during and the just concluded Salah celebrations within Yola Town in Yola South Local Government Area, Jimeta in Yola North Local Government Area, and the environs. The Commissioner of Police, CP Dankombo Morris, appreciates the good people of Adamawa State for their collaboration in the fight against armed robbery, housebreaking, and violent crimes by radical Shaila cult group. Suspected Fulani militias attacked and killed about 10 persons in Mandung Mushu and Kopale villages of Boko's local government area of Plateau State. Addressing newsmen on Saturday, Chairman, Boko's Cultural Development Council Famasum Fundang said the community in the Boko's local government area of Plateau State faced a horrific attack, resulting in the senseless slaughter of at least 10 of our members. Despite the presence of security forces, including the DSSS, Army and police, he lamented that the perpetrators, identified as Fulani terrorists, were allowed to carry out their heinous acts with impunity. The chairman condemned in very strong terms the act of terror, believing that it is aligned with a broader agenda to impose Sharia law and seize control of their lands. He further explained that just hours before the tragedy unfolded, BCDC Vanguard submitted a petition to the Department of State Services challenging a leaked memo that falsely accused their people of planning violence against Fulani residents. Plateau Governor Caleb Mutfwang has condemned the renewed deadly attacks that claimed several lives and property in Kopnale community in Mangu and Madasha village of Boko's local government areas. The attacks, which occurred on Friday night, left some members of the affected communities injured. Mufwang described the attacks as unfortunate and unacceptable, especially now the government is diligently working to restore peace and security. Mufwang, in a statement by his spokesman, Gwan Bere, warned perpetrators of these dastardly acts to desist forthwith, as government is determined to fish them out to face justice. While appreciating the intervention of security agencies and the protection of lives and property, Mufwang urged them to redouble efforts in discharging their constitutional responsibility of protecting innocent communities. Christian Association of Nigeria on Saturday urged the federal government to intensify efforts to take decisive action to rescue the remaining Chibok girls still held hostage by Boko Haram terrorists. On April 14, 2014, Boko Haram, an Islamist armed group, abducted 276 girls from their school in Chibok, a town in northeastern Borno State. Khan pleaded with the government to mobilize all available resources, engage relevant security agencies, and collaborate with international partners to secure the release of the remaining Chibok girls without delay. The religious body said the incident is not only a matter of national importance, but also a test of our commitment to upholding the rights and safety of our citizens, particularly the most vulnerable among us. In a statement by the National Director for Education, Youth and Women Development of Khan, Dean Reverend Ozumba Nicodemus urged all Nigerians to stand united to lend their voices and to demand immediate action from the government. Civil servants in Jigawa State have reportedly refused to return to work following the conclusion of the Eid holidays on Thursday. Federal government had earlier declared a two-day holiday for the festivities, Tuesday and Wednesday, but the crescent moon was not sighted on Monday. Hence, the holiday was extended to Thursday. The aftermath of the Eid festivities has seen a significant number of civil servants failing to report back to their respective duties. This development has sparked concern regarding the efficacy, the efficiency and productivity of government operations. While reacting, the Jigawa State Head of the Civil Service, Alhaji Muhammad K. Dagaseri, had urged civil servants in the state to be punctual and dedication to duties. Head of Service who stated this when he paid an unscheduled visit to the various MDS at the State Secretariat to monitor resumption of workers after Eid al-Fitr Salah holiday. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, says President Bola Tinubu is committed to the improvement of the overall well-being of Nigerians. Idris stated these on Saturday when featured in the flagship live phone-in program of the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, Kaduna, Hanu Dayawa. Speaking on agriculture, Idris said that Tinubu's administration was keen towards ensuring food security, and it had rolled out measures and programs that were targeted directly at the actual farmers. This, he said, was a turn from the previous practices and programs, which usually ended up in the hands of people who capitalized on such programs. Speaking on alleged abandoned projects in the northern parts of the country, Idris said that no responsible government can abandon projects which funds had already been put into. Joint Task Force Northwest Operation Hadarin Daji have neutralized 12 terrorists while others fled with gunshot wounds. The information officer, OPHD Lieutenant Suleiman Omale, in a statement on Saturday, said the troops successfully dominated Bamban Doka, Gobiriwa Chali, and Kobaro axis under Maro local government area of Zamfara State, engaging the terrorists in a heavy gun duel. In a statement, Mopo Patrol, he further explained that the gallant troops recovered significant weapons and assets from the scene, including one AK-47 rifle, one magazine, 2 rounds of 7.62 mm special ammunition, 1 locally made gun, 1 Dane gun, and 18 cows. Other than that, 10 motorcycles belonging to the motorists were recovered and destroyed on the spot. The statement said that Brigadier General S. Ahmed, the Commander 1 Brigade and Sector 1 OPHD, commended the resilience, doggedness, and gallantry displayed by our troops and urged them to maintain the momentum. And General S. Ahmed extended his appreciation to the General Officer commanding GOC A Division and Commander Joint Task Force Northwest Operation Hadanri Daji, Major General GM Muktu, for his tactical leadership and unwavering support to the troops in achieving their mandate. You're watching the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. We will be back after this short break. Stay tuned.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human
on the point of order.
Honorable
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
We're glad to have you back. This is the Global News on Atlantic Television Network, and now the rest of our stories. President Bola Tinubu has charged tertiary institutions to follow the guidelines for good governance and proper financial management development by the federal government following their removal from the integrated personnel payment system. Federal Executive Council approved the removal of federal universities, polytechnics and colleges of education from IPPIS last December. The president said following the approval to take tertiary institutions off the payment platform, the Federal Ministry of Education, in collaboration with relevant stakeholders, developed guidelines for tertiary institutions in the country to ensure good governance and proper financial management. Tinubu said these are the 13th convocation ceremony of the National Open University of Nigeria and investiture of new Chancellor of Noun, Oba of Benin, His Royal Majesty Omoni Oba Edoku Apolobolo Eware II on Saturday in Abuja. A total of 22,175 were awarded various degrees and certificates. 6 students graduated with Doctor of Philosophy certificate PhDs. Of the 22,175 students, the university awarded 22 students with first-class degrees. Federal government has set up a committee to implement the Cancer Health Fund. Director General of the National Institute for Cancer Research and Treatment, Dr. Usman Aliyu, disclosed this at an interactive session organized by the NECRAT in collaboration with the International Society of Media on Public Health on Saturday in Abuja. The CHF is an initiative of the Federal Ministry of the Health aimed at providing cancer treatment to indigent Nigerians and strengthening national cancer care. The government had in the 2024 Appropriation Act 200 million naira for the treatment of indigent cancer patients as part of the CHF. Aliyu noted that the CHF committee has analyzed the concept, the framework, the operational plan and the challenges. Nigeria Police Force and the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board have warned against the activities of those using fake websites to scam candidates applying for the forthcoming Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination. The examination will be held across 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. This was as a Nigeria Police Force National Cybercrime Center and JAM partner to clamp down on phishing website and scammers. The police and JAM, during a joint press conference held at the police headquarters, Louis Adet House, Abuja, on Saturday, noted that these fake sites are designed to deceive innocent candidates into providing personal details, such as registration numbers, email addresses, and phone numbers. The Force Public Relations Officer Olumuyiwa Adejobi and the spokesperson for JAM, Dr. Fabian Benjamin, noted that the emergence of several fake websites created by unscrupulous individuals with the intention of misleading candidates necessitated a joint press briefing. Veteran journalist and development data expert Rotimi Sankore is dead. This was made known by the Chief Executive Officer of Radio Now 95.3 FM, Kadaria Ahmed, in a post on her Facebook page on Saturday. In her post, Ahmed describes Sankore as one of the Nigeria's finest journalists, as an exemplary individual who passionately addressed the nation's challenges. Sankore's contributions extended beyond journalism. He was also known as a development and policy expert, journalism trainer, and human rights advocate. As the ED Editor-in-Chief of the Africa Center for Development Journalism, he provided communication support to organizations striving for social, political, and economic change in Africa. Additionally, Sankore served as the editorial board chair of the Nigeria Info Radio Group, a part of the AIM Media Group overseeing stations across Lagos, Abuja, Kano, Port Harcourt, and Onitsha. Nigeria's Center for Disease Control and Prevention has reported 1 death and confirmed 15 new cases of Lassa fever within 1 week across the country. NCDC said this is a situation report for week 13 published on its website. Lassa fever is an acute viral hemorrhagic illness transmitted to humans through contact with food or household items contaminated by infected rodents or contaminated persons. Its symptoms include fever, headache, sore throat, general body weakness, cough, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, muscle pains, chin pains, and in severe cases, unexplainable bleeding from ears, eyes, nose, mouth, and other openings. NCDC noted a decrease in the number of confirmed cases from 25 cases in 1 week, 12 to 15 cases in the reporting week, although the number of suspected cases increased compared to the same period in 2023. Now we are moving on to the business news. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of Economy, Wale Edun, has announced the earnings of government-owned entities, ministries, departments and agencies in February. According to him, the revenue rose to 835.7 billion naira in February. There was a notable growth of 681.45 billion naira, representing a substantial 441.78 surge from the 154.25 billion naira remitted in 2022. The minister made the disclosure during the presentation titled "Reconstructing the Economy for Growth, Investment and Climate Resilience Development" at the Lagos Business School Breakfast Club. Naira experienced huge appreciation at the official market, trading at $1,142.38. Data from the official trading platform of the FMDQ exchange, a platform that oversees the Nigerian autonomous foreign exchange markets, revealed that the Naira gained 888.23 Naira. These represent a 7.16% gain when compared to the previous trading date on Monday, April 8, exchanging at 1,230.61 to $1 before the Salah holiday. The total daily turnover increased to $281.34 million on February, up from $125.55 million recorded on Monday, according to the news agency on Nigeria on Saturday. Meanwhile, at the investors and exporters window, the Naira traded between 1,265 and 1,100 against the dollar. Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission says Nigeria's total crude oil and condensate production has declined for 3 straight months from January 2024 to 4.8 billion dollars per barrel in March. The Commission broke the news in its document tagged Crude Oil and Compensate Production 2024. According to the data that it released at the weekend, the country produced 5.1 billion naira per barrel of crude oil and condensate in February 2024. NUPRC noted that in January 2024, Nigeria's crude oil and condensate output was 6.9 billion naira barrel per day. For the March production, the Commission explained that the country recorded 4.3 billion naira per barrel crude oil and 6.2 per day barrel output. The document noted that in the first quarter of 2024, Nigeria's total crude oil and condensate production was 17,000 per barrel. And now moving on to the international tidbit. African Union of Saturday urged Mali to provide a post-coup transition roadmap, saying the move was needed to steer the countries back to democratic rule. Earlier this week, Mali's military junta ordered the suspension of all political activities, citing a need to maintain public order, and the African Union expressed grave concern at the move, saying it was likely to hinder the return to democracy. Malian Prime Minister Chogol Kokalia Maiga, appointed by the military colonels who overthrew President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta in August 2020, said elections will only be held once the country, which is facing a serious security crisis, has stabilized. Mali's leaders have faced domestic and international criticism raised since the military failed to meet its commitment to hold the presidential election in February and then to step down. In a statement, AU Chairman Moussa Faki Mahamat expressed grave concern at the latest development, saying he was calling on the authorities to reconsider this decision and work on a roadmap aiming at completing the ongoing transition process. The bloc suspended Mali in June 2021. Iraqi's Prime Minister Mohammed Shah al-Sudani left Baghdad on Saturday for the United States, where he will meet with the U.S. President as regional tensions flare. U.S. President Joe Biden is due to receive the Iraqi leader on Monday to coordinate on common priorities and discuss the evolution of the military mission of the U.S.-led anti-jihadist coalition in Iraq and Syria, according to the White House. The trip comes after Iran threatened to retaliate for deadly strikes blamed on Israel on its consulate in the Syrian capital Damascus. Biden has said he expects Tehran to take action sooner rather than later. The surging tensions come against the backdrop of the 6-month war waged by Israel against Iran-backed Palestinian Hamas militias in Gaza. Director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Christopher Wray, has raised the alarm of a possible terrorist attack on the United States. Wray said the coordinated attack may take the shape of the ISIS incident in Russia concert hall a few weeks ago. The FBI director disclosed this to members of Congress that the U.S. Ray's warning comes in the wake of the October 7 Hamas attack on Israel and the subsequent Israeli invasion of the Gaza Strip. He said those overseas events could embolden small groups or a lone wolf targeting America. Now on the entertainment news, family of late Nollywood actor John Okafor has announced his burial date. Prior to his death, Mr. Ibu's leg was amputated after battling an undisclosed illness a few months ago. However, the actor's family said the late actor will be buried in his hometown, Amuri, in Nkano West local government area of Enugu State. In a statement jointly signed by Ibu's brother, Elder Sunday Okafor, he said the deceased would be buried like a hero. The statement said the burial ceremony will begin on Tuesday, June 25th, with a high-profile novelty march, while on Wednesday, June 26th, there will be a session called Mr. Ibu's Night, which would involve candlelight procession and live entertainment. The 5-day burial ceremony will be wrapped up on Sunday, 30th June, with a church thanksgiving for family members, friends, and well-wishers. President Actors Guild of Nigeria, Emeka Rollas, has set up a committee to enhance the safety and welfare of members. This development follows a boat accident which claimed the lives of 5 film practitioners, including popular actor Junior Pope, on Wednesday. The Guild discloses in a statement signed by its Director of Communications, Kate Henshaw, and posted on its Instagram page on Saturday. The statement further listed the mandate of the committee to include to fine-tune the existing bylaws to include members' welfare, standard safety guidelines, and set protocols. The committee is led by veteran actor Emeka Ike, while Jude Ohora serves as the secretary. Nollywood actress Adam Maluk, who was the producer of the movie titled The Other Side of Life, in which Junior Pope was starring before his death, has broken her silence on the incident. Junior Pope and 4 other crew members died when their boat capsized while returning from a movie location on the River Niger. In video shared on her Instagram page on Saturday, Luke stated that she was supposed to be on the boat with them, but her director of production told her to bring the memory card used for the filming. She further stated that the movie was her first time working with the late Junior Pope, and she blamed herself for shooting the movie in Asaba Delta State. Luke stated that she feels grief for the loss of her crew members whom she considered family. And now the sports news. Rafael Nadal will make his return to ATP competition for the first time since January, when he plays Flavio Cobolli in Barcelona Open next week. The 22nd-time Grand Slam champion has played just once in an exhibition match since he felt a hip injury flare up during his quarter-final defeat by Jordan Thompson in the Brisbane Open. The tournament has also been boosted by the returns of Nadal's compatriot Carlos Alcaraz, the world's number 3, who withdrew from this week's Monte Carlo Masters due to a right arm injury. Unlike Nadal, the two-time defending Barcelona champion gets a first-round bye due to being seeded. Nadal, 37, missed virtually all of the 2023 season through injury and has only played at the Brisbane International this season. Manchester City moved top to the Premier League for at least a day with a dominant victory over struggling Luton Town. City led after only 65 seconds at Etihad Stadium when Erling Haaland's wayward volleys hit Luton's Daiki Hashoka before flying into the net. It took City more than an hour to double their lead through Metos Kovac's sweet rising strike from the near the edge of the area. Haaland put the game beyond any doubt with a penalty after Jeremy Doku was fouled by Fred Onyedinma. Just after City made a double change, Rose Barkley took advantage of the Matthews Nunes mistake to pull one back for the haters. City are 2 points clear at the top, although Liverpool at home to Crystal Palace and Arsenal, who host Aston Villa, can move back above them on Sunday. Elsewhere, Newcastle stormed into the Premier League's top seats as Alexander Isak scored twice in a 4-0 thrashing of Tottenham to rekindle their outside hopes of a place in the next season's Champions League. Spurs lead over the Magpies has scored to 10 points with 6 games remaining, but Newcastle have a far easier run in. Tottenham conceded 5 times in the opening 21 minutes of a 6-1 humiliation on their last visit to St James Park and were out-muzzled and outclassed once more on Tyneside. Eddie Howe was forced into a switch to a back 3 due to Newcastle's abundance of injuries in defense. But the home side makeshift backline was rarely troubled after Timo Werner skewed an effort wide in a bright start by the visitors. Bayern Munich defender Rafael Guerrero struck a brilliant second-half goal, and Thomas Müller scored late to beat Cologne 2-0 on Saturday, delaying Bayer Leverkusen's Bundesliga title party to Sunday at the earliest. Bayern's win means Xabi Alonso Leverkusen, who are 13 points clear of the Bavarians, need to beat Werder Bremen at home on Sunday to lift the Bundesliga trophy for the first time. Bayern coach Thomas Tuchel made 7 changes to his side ahead of Wednesday's quarterfinal second leg against Arsenal, with Harry Kane and Matthias Tel hitting the woodwork in the first half. Former Borussia Dortmund player Guerrero, starting a left back ahead of Alphonso Davies, unleashed a curling shot from outside the box, which broke the deadlock after 65 minutes. Mueller added a second to seal the result in the 3rd minute to stoppage time. And that's it on the global news for tonight. Before we go, let's take a quick look at the major headlines. Joshua Rogers regains freedom. APC clears aspirants for Ondo Guba primaries. JAMB won candidates against fake website. Nigeria crude oil output dipped 4.8 billion naira barrel per day. Iraqi Prime Minister heads to U.S. for Biden meeting. Mr. Ibu's family releases burial date. Nadal to make ATP return next week. And that's it on the news. I am Angel. Ukoma Angelic Angel. Thank you so very much for watching. You can follow us on our social media platforms. On Twitter, we have Atlantic TV Net, on Facebook and on YouTube at Atlantic Television Network. And on Instagram, we have Atlantic TV Network. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. And from me, do have a wonderful night rest. Good night.